Viewers, we have breaking news coming in. Moscow says that Joe Biden's remarks about Vladimir Putin have put the Russia-US ties on the verge of being severed. This comes after earlier US President Joe Biden had called Vladimir Putin a war criminal. This is the latest that we're hearing now from the Kremlin, that US President Joe Biden's rhetoric against Vladimir Putin, specifically calling him a war criminal, has forced US-Russia ties to a point where they are on the verge of being severed. We are being joined now by Shaurya from the newsroom. Shaurya, what has Russia said about its ties vis-a-vis America and Joe Biden's remarks against Putin?
Ankit, Russian Foreign Ministry has specified that Biden's words are unacceptable, and the US and Russia relationships are on the brink of breaking up. Now, these particular sanctions from the side of US are very important on the Russia as invasion on Ukraine has increased. On the other hand, Russia is confident that the sanctions that have come up here are not going to impact Moscow in relation to the sanctions that have been coming in from world over. Now, escalations have been made inside the territory of Ukraine, where we can see the civilians being attacked, particular buildings, storage facilities being targeted, and the financial losses are raking up. And both the militaries are also releasing the casualty figures and the damages to the forces. But here, when it comes to the dynamics between the relationship between US and Russia, they are not improving any further, as this cold relationship between Joe Biden and Vladimir Putin is just escalating each and every time. Back to you.
Absolutely, Shaurya, breaking down the details of what Russia has said about its ties with America in light of Joe Biden calling Vladimir Putin a war criminal. Remember, viewers, ever since Joe Biden became president of the US, his rhetoric against Vladimir Putin has been increasing in decibels. He had started off calling him a killer, this is even before the war, and now he's called him a war criminal, and their ties are more strained than ever before.
As Russia continues its military offensive, which it calls Special Operation in Ukraine, the Azov Battalion continue to put up a tough fight. Take a look at these visuals from the Moshchun town of the Kiev region. Russian tanks destroyed in an air missile strike by Ukraine in suburbs of Kiev. Another footage released by the Ukraine ministry showed the Azov Battalion of Ukraine destroying columns of Russian tanks and armored vehicles. Russia had earlier called on Ukrainian forces in Mariupol to lay down their arms, a demand that has been outrightly rejected by Ukraine. While Russia is now using hypersonic missiles against Ukraine, the weapons supplied by NATO and EU countries have played a critical role in stalling the Russian advance in the capital city. Agency report for Republic TV.